Hello everyone and welcome to day 2. Oh, how are we going? How did you do? Did you do your 1,667 words? Did you go over? Have you started yet? You know what? It is your pace, how you're going to do this. That is what matters. My pace? Well, yeah, okay. I managed, I'm quite proud of myself. I managed to do 2,045, I think, on this story, and then 2,006 on the other story. So I'm getting there. If I can keep that up, I'll be perfectly happy about the whole thing. Anyway, today, what I've been struggling with is choosing whether to do first person or third person, how to present this story. So don't even get me started on second person. That is to get my head round. But basically, we got first person. We'll discuss second person and third person. And it is something to decide. That's the thing with NaNoWriMo. You do this, you can always go back. The idea is get rid of your inner editor. Get it done. December is the time for editing, and if you change perspective as you go, fine, just get on with it, get it done. You can go back and edit it later. This is the problem with me uploading it on here. You lot can see it. Basically, I've decided to upload, I guess, screenshots of the story at the end. I'll just make each one last like 20 seconds. There's 5 pages, and because I've chickened out of reading it out loud. Unless you really want me to. If you want me to, I'll have a go. But other than that, just know. So let's do a little person. Hi. There's a little person. So first person is either, this is when sort of a diary form would come in, which I was considering and I've had a go at. I'll talk about that in a minute. Or you write about from the perspective of one person. You write from like the Hunger Games is all from Katniss's side of it all. So we use words like I. There you go. She is either actually writing it or she's telling you the story. It's from her perspective. She is, I did this, I went there, I felt that. Second person is it's an attempt to draw a little person and another little person. There you go. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. Did you catch my Inktober's? This is pretty much it. So second person is getting the reader involved. The reader becomes the person the narrator is talking to, or they're talking to a character in the story that is you. Yeah, okay. Use words like you did this, you do that, you went there, you felt this kind of thing. I'm just ignoring that one. And third person is, you've got, let's put some glasses to indicate a clever person. And they are telling you the story, and they use words like they, she, he. Wow, they've got a chin on them. They have got a chin on them. Let's give a bit of, it's a bit mullety. A mullet's coming back, I'm not quite sure. But use words like he, she, they. So this is a person telling you about what happened. Essentially, that's the differences. Yeah, so we're just not worrying about this one. Occasionally you might do a couple of lines saying you. Like when I'm explaining this, I say things like you would use, so that's kind of it. But we're just going to ignore that. So I'm wondering between the first and the third person, which one I want. Oh, and we. Talk about we as in she is involved with the people, you know. There. So a first person narrator is, they're fallible. They can't be trusted. They are an unreliable narrator. Not always. in reality, we're all fallible. We all think our subjective thoughts, and are any of us truly reliable when with our memories? Even best will in the world, trying to remember something, you'll remember it from your subjective viewpoint, not everybody else's. So even a really, a thoughtful first person narrator, someone really trying to get the truth across, would be fallible. An interesting way of using this in a story is using that unreliability to tell the reader what is actually going on, or certainly giving hints. A good example of this, spoiler warnings coming up, for the book Rebecca. They've made a few like films and TV stuff. There's one on Netflix right now. I really wouldn't bother. But in that, the narrator, who we never learn the name of, is incredibly unreliable, and you can see through her actions. She comes across, and they always present her as really sweet and kind and kind of in the corner. My opinion of her is she is a psychopath or a sociopath, or there's something going on with her, because serious spoiler, fast forward to, but she finds out that her husband shot and murdered a pregnant woman, his pregnant ex-wife, and she is immediately, yay, he loves me, woo! Come on, you wouldn't wonder, oh, hang on a minute, mate, you shot a baby there, shouldn't we think about this? But no. Anyway, there's a whole other thing of the person she's working for, and she just deserts her, and there's this whole thing, but it's something to think about. She is completely unreliable in what she is telling us, and it's all from her perspective. So that's an interesting way of getting information across to the reader, just through what she is saying. Like with Katniss is essentially, she's a kid, and she doesn't know about politics, and she doesn't really know what's going on, but by what she says, she sees, and what other people say, we the reader can figure it out. So it's a good tool to use if used right. That's the thing. The downside is you don't know what other characters are thinking. That's the issue. As an unreliable narrator, we're assuming they're not like magic and can read other people's minds. They're just a person. They can tell us what they think the other person is thinking, but that would be a guesswork. They can tell us what the other person is doing, which is a way of getting across what the other person is thinking. Like if they hang up the phone and let out a good big sigh, we, the reader, can figure out, oh, something went wrong on that phone call, or their shoulders slump. We can say to ourselves, oh, they're sad, or they're overwrought or something. So we can do that. But essentially with this, you are only getting the thoughts of that first person, the person you're writing about. It's an issue. It can also, for storytelling purposes, be quite good to get that kind of misinformation and what's going on with these other characters. Are they the bad guy? Are they the bad guy? Ooh, and all that stuff. So that is another way of doing it. Third person, the other one we're going to look at, is I did warn you about my spelling. How do you spell omniscient? Omniscient. All-knowing. They know everything. They know what everyone's thinking. They know, probably you'd be writing so that they know what's going to happen. If you write it from a character telling you this, that could still be seen as first person, because they're still a person. They are then a character in the novel, but they're writing about all these other people. I'm no expert, but essentially a third person knows what everyone was thinking, what everyone was doing, will pick and choose what they tell the reader. You wouldn't necessarily tell the reader where the bad guy is, kind of thing. But they can tell you what's coming even as well. This is something else. With this one, we learn when she learns. When she learns what's going on, we learn. With this one, we can know something's coming. This is another thing. I remember Hitchcock said something like, if you have an explosion, you have a room of people and then an explosion, you're scared for 10 seconds. If you have a room of people and then show the bomb under their table for 5 minutes, you have 5 minutes of being scared. So that is something else to consider, how you want to show your story. This is something I wasn't sure about. I'll put it up at the end, but I've done a bit of both. Actually, the diary-like journal entry way first, and then I did a bit of it, and then I swapped it around, and then I continued on the diary thing. So it's kind of been wafted about a bit. I'm still making my mind up, but I think I've decided to go third person with this because I want another character. I've started writing it, and I want another character in there saying what's going on for them. So these are going to have two characters, and they're going to come together, and it's like, which is the good guy, which is the bad guy, either of them, both of them, what is going on? So that is my idea. So I think I'm going to continue with this one, the third person, but following that person kind of thing. So we would be seeing it from this character's point of view and what she is seeing, and then sort to the other character. I think I'm going to do that, because as I'm saying that, I'm thinking, well, why don't I just do first person? Yeah, because sometimes you follow just one person's point of view, but you are talking as in she did this and she did that, which is third person, but you're still only getting one person's point of view, which is, yeah. I'm going to keep writing it and decide, and my point of view, whether I use first person or third person, may change as we go. But it is NaNoWriMo, and that's okay. The point is you just keep writing. You get your ideas down. You can always go back and change them if you want. But anyway, that is what I am up to. If you fancy following me along, I'm about to put up the stories for you, and each page will last like 20 seconds, and you know, you can pause and read if you want. Personally, I'm an incredibly slow reader, and that wouldn't do it for me, but there you go. So find out, I guess, tomorrow what I end up doing. I think I am still doing the third person, because I always worry with first person, how are they telling you this? I've written another book that naturally was in kind of first person. There was diary entries basically, and there was the main one, and then a few pages that she was reading from another diary in there, and it worked because writing the diary is actually, it's part of the plot. It's part of what's happening. So there's that. But it seemed to be naturally that way, and I'd be writing like she'd go out, she'd get up to all this stuff, and then she'd come back and she'd be like, oh, I went out today, now I'm at home and I'm here. Little, hopefully more subtle than that, but that's essentially what I did with her. I had a reason why she was writing it down. She kind of had to write it down, it was part of the plot. And I had spaces where she had stopped and had a couple of hours, and you know, to actually get her diary out and write this. That's the thing, when you write first person, how are they telling this story? It bugs me. It's not, you don't have to have, I am sitting here and doing this, or I am writing this 20 years after or whatever, but always, how is she telling us this story? How is that happening? And it's like, if you were doing it diary form, you couldn't do, and they're attacking me and this is happening. What, really? You're going to go, hang on, bad guys, can you just stop while I write all this down? I mean, it's something to bear in mind with this one. How is it getting written? But we'll see. I think I'm going to go with this one, because I'm enjoying with the odd journal entry peppered in, because you can, you know, you can do all three if you want. Why not? But anyway, I'm leaving it there because I better go and get on with it, hadn't I? Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it if you got this far. If you'd like to stay and read the story that I wrote yesterday, fingers crossed my computer will upload this video today, because the video I uploaded for yesterday, I started uploading about 10 o'clock in the morning, and it didn't upload until the next day. So there are internet issues going on, but hopefully I'll be able to get this one up today. And yeah, we'll find out what I end up doing tomorrow, I guess. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it kind of helped a little tiny bit. Just something to think about, how you want to present your work. What's the best vehicle for your particular story? But anyway, thank you very much. Please like and subscribe and all of that wonderful business. And I will hopefully see you tomorrow. Bye.